summer, the Earth's oldest creature has just found a new home.
Wendy! Go under!
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid was a movie that I saw far too young. I was about 7, I think. And then it ended up just adding on to the fear of water that Jaws had already given me, except now it was also lakes, and lakes were everywhere. So at this point, every body of water was just the nesting ground of horrible, awful death in my eyes. And I figure, with the unfortunate passing of the great Betty White, that I would take a look back on this movie, because not only was it the first time that I had ever seen Betty in anything, and it was one hell of a first impression.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
But I just think Lake Placid in general gets a bad rap from critics, and it's completely unjustified. I mean, it kicks off with a nod to Jaws 2, and a dude gets bitten in half in the first 5 minutes. So like, how could you not like this movie, seriously? So the plot centers around a paleontologist played by Bridget Fonda who gets sent to Maine so her ex-boyfriend slash boss can pork her friend or whatever. I'm also pretty sure that's the same dude that was porking Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween H2O around the same time, so obviously the dude gets around. And to check out a tooth that was pulled from the corpse of the dude that got bitten in half earlier. Also, I'm pretty sure this scene is also a Jaws reference.
Maybe I should see.
I wouldn't.
I can deal with dead men, bodies.
Come to think of it, there are quite a few nods to Jaws in this that I never caught as a kid. I mean, there's another scene later on when their boat starts getting yanked, and it looks very familiar. Once Kelly gets to Maine, she meets the local sheriff Hank, played by Brendan Gleeson, and a conservation officer played by Bill Pullman. And the nice thing here is that right off the bat, the writing and comedy is just sarcastic and entertaining enough that it offsets the fact that we're not going to see the crocodile until like nearly an hour into the movie. Now, normally I would hate this, because typically in these monster movies, the characters are so painfully boring that it just makes that wait just that much more unbearable. But not here. Hell, even Bridget Fonda, despite being a pretty annoying character for a vast majority of the movie, has moments of comedy gold.
Hey,
Hey, Kevin, what's going on? What's happening? How's it going? How's your family? Good? That's great. So nice to see you. Fuck off.
I mean, her delivery of this line was the first time I had ever heard this, and I used it excessively throughout the rest of my formative years.
Thank you. It's so rewarding to imagine my tax dollar finding its way to you, you fuck shit.
you are a saucy flirt.
Plus, I love the running gag that she just keeps getting heads thrown at her. It's great. Now, where the dialogue really shines, though, is when Hector Sear, played by Oliver Platt, shows up. Because immediately, Platt and Gleeson just start tearing into each other, and it's great. Every time these two were on screen together, just never ceased to be entertaining as hell.
I could probably cut him down, but there's this odd look of mayhem on his upside-down face.
Hank,
Yes.
are you all right?
Could you cut me down?
Do you promise that you won't attempt to injure me?
I have no interest in ever looking at you, Hector. Dip a little closer.
All right, it's over. It's over. Remember, you promised not to hurt him, so
I lied.
wait. Hey!
But of course, you can't talk about Lake Placid without talking about Betty White. It's really a testament to how talented she was, because she's barely even in this movie at all, yet she steals every single goddamn scene she's in. She was just a force.
But people bomb planes. Can the police stop them? No. But feed one little cow to a crocodile.
You're gonna stay right here until the police show. You're under full house arrest.
Thank you, Officer Fuckmeat.
And I'm not going to sit here and say Lake Placid is an original movie or anything. It's not. I mean, I already showed like 3 scenes pulled straight out of Jaws movies. It's full of all the cliches that fans of monster movies have seen before. It follows the same formula. Only difference being that instead of a beach full of swimmers, it's just these people. And really, when you think about it, the only person living on the lake at all is Betty's character. No one else ever comes here, so really, you could have just not gone in the water at all. But fuck that, because we wouldn't get a scene this awesome otherwise. Like most movies done in the late 90s, The Croc is realized through fairly dated 90s CGI and genuinely amazing practical effects work done by none other than Stan Winston. Seriously, the animatronic crocodile looks real in every single scene they use it in. Thankfully though, they don't rely heavily on the CGI, and it's used only in shots where the crocodile has to move. Remember the good old days when CGI and practical effects complemented each other like this? God, I miss them. My only real complaint is that I wish the Croc had more screen time. Now, unfortunately, Lake Placid is another one of those animal attack movies that just had to be turned into a franchise. The fact that there are 5 movies after this one, including a goddamn Anaconda crossover, just blows my mind in like the worst way. Sure, this movie ends on a sequel bait ending, but like, if Lake Placid 2 was about Betty White feeding and creating an army of crocodiles, and all the characters from this movie came back to battle them, sign me the fuck up! Instead, we got shitty straight-to-video low-budget dumpster fires. This world, she's a cruel bitch. She's just a cruel bitch. Like I said, Lake Placid isn't original. It's not groundbreaking, really, in any way. But what it does do, it does well. It's a damn good time. The biggest sin these monster movies can possibly commit is that they are boring as hell, and I don't think Lake Placid is at all. In the same vein as like Arachnophobia, Deep Blue Sea, or even Anaconda, it's just got that 90s feel to it that is just comforting to watch. I've watched this movie with friends throughout the years, and we always end up quoting it and laughing our asses off, and I think that speaks volumes. If you've been avoiding this one because the reviews for it aren't great, just do yourself a favor and ignore them. As long as you don't take it seriously, and you treat it like the dumb crocodile movie it is, then it's a damn fun good time. I just want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate you guys. I apologize if I screw your names up because this is the first time I've ever tried to say them out loud. Kyle Moylan, Joshua Locko, Cameron Benson, The Mouse Slider, Brandon B, Andrew Gibson, Ivan. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you.